We are back on the parking lot job today, and it looks a little different. They are putting in a little train to go around here. Actually, it's not a real little train. I think he told me the rails are 3.5 feet apart and a full-size train's 4. And I think it's an engine and 10 cars and a caboose, and it's 105 feet long, I believe. What we're gonna work on probably today and tomorrow is I got the building pad to build, which is gonna be kind of like the main, I guess, building gift shop. You can buy the tickets to ride the train. And then there may be an eating area in here, because I don't know. There's another small pad I got to build behind here with all the pink flags, but I think that may be where they cook the burgers, and then you can sit in here, or I'm not sure how this is all kind of laying out. I've also got some like pathways or walkways to cut in. I think it's going to go in between these two buildings and the train depot, I know, but there's also supposed to be like a like a wishing well bell tower thing, I believe. It's going to be like their center point of this little park. So we'll have a walkway kind of from this piece over to there, and then one over to there, and then I think it'll either come up through here, and then that's going to be barn and petting zoo area. He's actually got, I believe they're called micro cows and donkeys, so they're like about the size of a dog. He's got one of the cows and one of the donkeys or whatever. It's not here, it's at his, I think, his house or a friend of his farms right now. They're pretty cute looking. Like I said, they're not real big, but that's what's gonna go in there. And then that's where I took all the trees out and disced that up, and then I believe they planted fescue and like winter wheat or something to try to get some better vegetation in there. So yeah, he's got most of the barn, or a good chunk of the barn, built up anyway. And then there's some burn piles. I got them burned while I was gone. Sometime later this month, they're gonna come and at least get these two structures built up. And he's got a group of Mennonites that build like metal buildings and pole barns and stuff. So, which is really actually kind of neat to watch. They're the ones that built the little shop at my house. It takes 6 guys about a day and a half to build my 30 by 30, start to finish. You got to get the pad ready, but then they come and auger the holes in each corners, and then I don't know, so many feet apart down the side. They auger down about 3 or 4 feet and build like 6 by 6 posts to set in there. So the way they explained to me, I mean, the majority of the weight and the load is going to be on those posts, and then the floor just kind of floats over, sits on here. We're still going to dig this down, I don't know, probably 6-8 inches just to get rid of all the topsoil and junk. And then we're just going to start hauling in base and building it back up. I'm going to set the whole building up. Maybe the top of the pad will be about 6 inches higher than that point of the parking lot. And then they'll do 4 inches of floor on top of that. But that lot also drains over almost 7 inches by the time it gets down to that corner. And then it kind of drains off. So the back of this building is probably going to be 15-16 inches up, and then we'll just, I think he's gonna put a deck on the back of it, so I may not have to do as much, but we'll take some of what I dig out and kind of put it on the back side of this thing. I guess we kind of spilled the beans on that. It's gonna be kind of a little amusement park deal going on here. It'll be I think he told me the train ride's supposed to be about 5 or 6 minutes long, and I believe that's what all that brush is for. I think they've got it all cleared out, so I may just run the loader down there today and kind of show you guys where it's going to go. So it's all kind of in that wooded or tree area, and he may have like some stops along the way and picnic tables and stuff like that set up. I'm not really sure on that, but it should be pretty neat. I figured they'd be here today trying to get that worked on, but they've actually got to bring a machine in that sets train track, as heavy as this stuff is. So he's able to purchase this train out of like a dynamite plant here in town. But they're actually, I guess, we're salvaging or getting rid of the train because they've gone to other means of moving stuff around from their one warehouse to the other. So he lucked out and got all the track and the train, and I think he's got 2 engines and 10 or 12 cars. The cars are kind of getting, they're all down at the shop because they were just flatbeds. They're getting kind of fabricated with what look like little coal cars, and they're building the shell over the train where it'll look like an old steam locomotive, and then he's got a caboose he's building. So it should be pretty neat, and as soon as we get some of those here, I'll come back down here and kind of get some pictures or video of that, but that should be pretty cool. But yeah, enough talking. Let's get the loader unloaded and start digging this dirt out. Well, they got cut down just a little more than I cared to, but it's pretty soft all through there. So I think I want to start with the 3-inch base again and dump on there and track it in. And I may, for today, just back the truck and stuff like that over once I knock it down. I actually called the company that hauled all the rock from here because they're supposed to be working on the train. He wanted me to check with them. I called and left a voicemail last night and this morning, haven't heard from them, and then called 2 other companies that don't have time. So I guess we'll play dump truck driver for a little while so I can keep things rolling. Well, let's go get some rock. gonna get it for tonight. I got those, what did I get? 5 loads of the 3-inch stuff. I got it all knocked down. I went out a little bit wider than what this is. I think that's right there at the corner of the building, so I need to cut these out where these stakes are at, but I just kind of using them to get my reference point or my pad somewhat roughed in, but I try to go a couple feet past all of the stakes. And like I said, now we'll switch it over to 1-inch base. I'm actually going to pick up a little roller tomorrow and roll this in real good, because I tracked it in, but that thing doesn't really compact it like it needs to. But I'm hoping it's thick enough where it'll bridge over, because it was pumping really bad right here in the dirt. Maybe this will kind of bridge over everything that's there, but we'll start rolling it in and then start bringing that 1-inch stuff and then just keep rolling that in. But this will work for the night. We'll pick that roller up, and then hopefully maybe I can actually get some other trucks to bring me some rock, because it's probably still going to take 6 or 7 loads here, and then I got to do that other pad, so I may have another 10 loads of rock that I need to put in here. So if I can get somebody else to haul it and I can stay here, that will speed things up. But we will pick it up in the morning. We're back on the pad job, fixing to do a little mass rolling. Stopped by the rental store this morning and picked up my massive whacker roller. So this thing ought to actually work pretty well for this pad. It's a little small, but I think they said it weighs like 3,000 pounds. So we'll run this over real quick. This 3-inch is tracked in pretty decent last night, but we'll still run this over it. And then I got 1 load of base and probably gonna take, I don't know, 5 or 6 more. Hopefully, I'm waiting to hear back from 2 other trucking companies, but I may be hauling all my own rock again today, but whatever, we'll make it work. So yeah, let's fire this bad boy up and get some of this stuff rolled in. Well, this is going to be our stopping point for today because we're out of rock and pretty much out of daylight. But I got 6 loads of 1-inch put on top of here. This corner is, I think, just 2.5 inches low, but we're still like 8 inches low, 14 inches, and 12 or something. So not making a lot of headway. That's only going to put it 3 inches above the parking lot over there, because he wanted to get it as close to that height as possible, but still keep it where water sheds away. So, but I guess tomorrow, the company that hauled the rock on the parking lot supposedly are going to have trucks running tomorrow. I think he's going to end up bringing 15 or 20 loads and just dumping out there in the parking lot. I'm hoping to catch them in time where I can get a couple of them put in here. Started cutting out on this. I've actually started getting to just a little bit of clay, but it's still pretty soft. I need to cut a little more out of the middle and kind of dress this up. But this is, I don't know, I think I'm a foot over all the way around. This is gonna be like a walk-up burger stand. I guess you're gonna get your burgers here, and then there's gonna be a room inside and tables outside on a deck or a porch to eat your burgers on. And there's gonna be a little walkway, which you can kind of see out of this orange line. It ties into that sidewalk, which goes to there, and then there's like a bell tower, I believe, or something there in the middle where everything walks to, and then it branches off from there. I'm gonna try to start cutting those out tomorrow and hopefully get this pad and that other pad all finished up. That way, I think it's towards the end or middle of this month, the builders are supposed to be here to build these 2 buildings, so we'll get those done ahead of time. But I'll park the roller for tonight, and we will pick it up again tomorrow.